Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Hello, Rise and Renee. Thanks for joining me. And it is day 8 of my 10 days of Halloween. After a long weekend back, I am excited to share my next project with you. So, let's talk a little bit about a Stampin' Up! Sale that's going on now. They have weekly deals going on this month. And oh, hey, Jean. Yes, are you spooked? It's pretty spooky in here. Are you a little scared? I'm sure you are. There are weekly deals going on all this month in September. The ones I have up here are ones that will be good until the 21st, which is actually tomorrow. But then if you check on my online store, there'll be another set of products that'll go on weekly deals for the last week of the month. So just check on my online store, and you can tell what will be available for the last week. All you need to do is go on my blog, and there is a link to my online store in every one of my posts, so it's easy to find. So that is all for now that I can think of from Stampin' Up! And just a little bit of a review of the products we will be using this evening. We are going to be using the amazing Gingham Cottage DSP. This pack of paper comes with 48 sheets and is great for all different holidays and occasions, not just fall and Halloween, but you've got colors that'll take you through Christmas and up through the spring holidays as well. So this is a great, great deal. 48 sheets, and it's great for any kind of a project, cards and 3D projects as well. All right, and then we're also going to be using the Scary Cute stamp set. You think I would know these by now, but this is the Scary Cute stamp set. Really love this one, mostly because I love the sentiments. And today all we're going to be stamping is a sentiment. We're going to shifting gears a little bit and going to do a little bit of punch art tonight. So those are the two products that we will be using tonight to make our project. So, alrighty, well, let's go ahead and get started. This is our project for this evening. It's a little gift box that holds 2 of the Ghirardelli squares. And these are special Ghirardelli squares. They are milk chocolate and caramel apple. So these are kind of a seasonal chocolate. Found these over at the grocery store, our local grocery store. So these should probably be able to find these anywhere, at least through the fall. So I thought those would be great to put in the box. And if you notice, my box is made out of the designer series paper. Instead of using cardstock, I just used the DSP for this one, which works perfectly. And then I did a little bit of punch art to make the little pumpkin on the front, and I'm going to show you how I did this. But this is another great project. You could make bunches of these very quickly and get them out to all your favorite trick-or-treaters. Okay, so, and as I've had with all of my projects online during my Facebook Lives, I will have a downloadable PDF available on my blog as soon as this is over, and it is something that you are able to download and keep if you like the hard copy of the directions. I do sometimes too. So these are available for all 10 days and all my projects that I do for my Facebook Lives. All right, so I think that's it. So here's our project. We'll keep that front and center. Please remember that you can always go back on my YouTube page, my YouTube channel. Just go on YouTube and search the Wexford Stamper, and it will have all 7 of the projects so far that I've done, and this one, and then the 2 more that I will have to finish up the week. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. This is a nice, quick one for all those gals that are out there trying to get things done with as little time as they have. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to start with a piece of the gingham paper. This is from the Gingham Cottage DSP, and it is cut at 6 3/4 by 4 1/2. All right, so this piece is 6 3/4 by 4 1/2. And I'm going to bring in my scoring board. Remember, all these scoring measurements will be on the PDF and my blog, so don't worry about having to jot things down. All right, let's look at the long side first. This is the 6 3/4 inch side. And let's see. Okay. Yikes. All right, I didn't write down any of my... All right, so let's do short side first. On the short side, we're going to do 3/4 on each side. Okay, so all I did here was score on 3/4, then spin it around to the other long side and score at 3/4 again. Okay, then we're going to turn it to the long side and we're going to go 3/4. Then we are going to go, let's see, I forgot to write them down. 3/4, and that looks like 2 1/4. All right, so 3/4, 3, 3 3/4, 6. Okay, so let's go it again. It's 3/4, 3, 3 3/4, 6. And then this way, 3/4, flip it all the way to the other short side, 3/4. Okay, there we go. Those are our scoring marks. All right, let's go ahead and grab our bone folder, and we're going to go ahead and fold up all our score lines. Now this one probably takes the prize for the littlest amount of paper that we have to cut off to make the box. This definitely wins the prize for that one. Okay, so let's go ahead and make sure we get all those lines creased. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab my template, which you can hardly tell that I did anything to it, because all I really have to do is just free up the 6 little flaps here. Okay, that's all the cutting you do. So all you're going to have are these tiny little wedges that you're going to cut out. Everything else is going to stay right on the box. All right, so let's hold it in the landscape position, and we're going to cut up all 4 of the score lines at the bottom. We're going to cut up to the first horizontal. Then we're going to go back and do a little bit of wedging. So when we fold up our sides and adhere our panels, that we don't have too much paper coming into the corners. All right, so there's one side. Let's see if you can see that. There is 3 tabs. Okay, let's turn it the other way. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to go up to the first horizontal score line on all 4 of the vertical score lines. Then we're going to come back and cut little wedges out so these little flaps will fit nicely in as we fold together our panels. So here is my giant pile of excess paper for this treat box. Look at that. Right there. That's it, right there. So that's all the excess paper. And then before we put it together, we want to go ahead and take a circle punch. Anything small, anything under 1 inch would probably be the best. And so I'm going to go ahead and bring it in here on either end and just take a little notch out, and that's going to be like my little thumb notch so I can open the box. I know it is a little crazy with the colors, isn't it, Jean? Yay, I'm so glad you're feeling better, Joanne. I'm so sad that you felt sick, but glad you're feeling good enough to watch some crafting. All right, so if I put the little notch right here, that means this panel is going to be my lid. So I'm going to do that last. So I'm going to go ahead and keeping it on the front side or the outside of the box, I'm going to put a little bit of glue on these 4 tabs. Okay, not these 2 because they're going to put our lid together. Okay, I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to bend forward the tab, and where the fold is, I'm going to line that up with the side panel edge. Just like we do with just about practically every box I make. We're just folding those tabs in, lining up the fold line and the side panel edge. There we go. And one more. All right, and that's it. There is the bottom of our box ready to go. Let me grab a couple of these delicious Ghirardelli squares. Look how cute they are. They're all our favorite colors. They're Parakeet Party, little bit of Cajun Craze, and let's see, that could be Crushed Curry. So cute. All right, it fits 2 very, very easily. Okay, so now we have those in there. What I like to do now is fold my lid over, and then I'm going to apply a little bit of glue on the outside of those 2 little tabs, fold that front down, and then fold that panel, I'm sorry, the tab backwards. Okay, and that's going to slide right under the side panel edge. And I'm going to hold that for just a second. And there is your box. How about that, guys? Pretty easy, really fun and easy to put together. Okay, now let's talk about our little embellishment we're going to make. I learned how to make these a couple years ago, and I always pull them out every fall because they're fun to make. So if you have a oval punch or an oval die, I have the double oval punch, which is great because you can cut out an oval and then a coordinating scalloped oval. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut out 3 of the ovals. Now, before I start cutting, if I would cut just like this, I would punch out a scallop when I really don't need one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a strip out of this scrap paper, and then I can just put it in like this, and then I won't have as much waste. There is that. 2, 3. So if you just want to make either the scallop or the oval, it might be best to go ahead and cut yourself a strip rather than a large piece of the cardstock. All right, there are my 3 little ovals. All right, now to give them a little bit more depth, I like to use a little bit of my Calypso Coral. Now, if you have some of the brushes, the blending brushes, you can use those, but I just do it quicker this way. But you just kind of take your oval and just press the side into your ink pad. And you press it pretty good because you want the ink to come up around the edge. Okay, now let me show you how that looks. See how you can see the outline on there? So it gives it a little more depth. I'm going to do that with all 3. So I'm just going to hold the Calypso Coral ink pad and then just take my oval and dab it. And if you want it a little more, you can press into your ink pad a little farther. You could go around a couple extra times. It just gives it an outline, so it really shows up much better when you make your little pumpkin. All right, last one. All the way around. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, there are my 3 little ovals. You can tell just looking at them that they're much more distinct. You can see their edges much more clearly. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dab a little bit of glue right here on both edges of the middle pumpkin, the middle oval. Yeah, it's just a hack. When I'm in a hurry, that's the way I like to do it, Renee. And now I'm just going to do a little overlap on each side. Okay. And you just kind of, oh, no, wait, I did it the wrong way. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. This guy goes on the outside. There we go. You want the one in the middle on the outside. So don't do it the way I just did it. Okay, there. Now that looks just like a pumpkin. Isn't that cool how it turns right into a pumpkin? Those nice tall ones that are good for making jack-o'-lanterns. Yep. So remember, don't do it as I just did. You do it and make sure that the oval, center oval is on top. Okay, now how do you make the stem? Oh, it is a very tricky way. I take a piece of my parakeet party and I just cut a little triangle, just like that. Okay, then I'm going to put a little dot of glue at the bottom part of my triangle, the pointy part. There we go. And then I'm just going to kind of lay this on top. And there you go. There is my pumpkin. Is that cool? So easy. I love this. I don't know where I learned it, but I have to always pull it out for my stamping friends every year. All right, so let's go ahead and bring in our box that we just made. And I'm going to turn over my pumpkin and I'm going to add some dimensionals on the back. Okay, let's do 3. Okay, I was worried that I might not have my voice tonight because I just yelled my head off all week, not all weekend, but at the game on Saturday night, and I was worried that I wouldn't have a voice, but it is here. It is coming back. It is a little bit of my sexy voice, but I'm glad I have one. So there, I just kind of put it, angled it out a little bit just to make it a little interesting. Then I took a strip of basic white cardstock. This is cut at 3/4 of an inch. And I grabbed one of my sentiments from the Scary Cute Trick or Treat You're So Sweet. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp that right onto my strip here. Hopefully. Ooh, that's a little crooked. Let's try that again. Thankfully, there's 2 sides to every piece of cardstock. I got to get my head over it better. Let's try one more. Feeling lucky tonight. Okay, here we go. That's good. Finally, I did it. 3rd time's a charm. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cut this little guy off the end of my strip. Then I'm going to make my little banner tail. Going to snip in first from the side and then up to the end point of that first snip from each of the corners. And it magically becomes a banner tail. And the crowd goes wild. All right, now Last bit, we're going to go ahead and put one dimensional on the edge close to the banner, but then the other part is going to be it's actually going to be on the pumpkin. So we don't need to put a dimensional here. I'm just going to add a tiny bit of glue. So when I place it down, it'll stick right to the pumpkin. Okay, there is the box so far. Okay, and the last thing I like to pull out for my fall projects is the linen thread. Love this stuff. You got to get you some. Linen thread, perfect for all your fall Halloween type projects. And for this, I made a double bow, which is just a bow made with 2 strands. And then I'm going to add it to my box here with glue dot. Okay, so this is how I do my glue dots here. Where are they? Well, this is the ones that came on the wrong side. Let's see where I am here. Okay, so I'm going to lay it down right on my glue dot there on the roll. Going to grab my pick tool and pick it up underneath with the glue dot. And I just place mine right here at the bottom. And it went right on with the glue dot. So that is it. How easy and fun is that to make? All right. So I thought I'd go off schedule a little bit tonight and make something that's more fall than Halloween. But I have 2 more left, and they kind of are more Halloween. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you come back for my last 2. Yes, Jean, I've got all kinds of spooky treats here already. I've got a great start just doing this series on my stash for my trick-or-treaters, that's for sure. So remember, when you look for this, just go to my blog. That's www.thewexfordstamper.blogspot.com, and just look for the new Ghirardelli treat box, and it will have all of the information and a PDF for you to download if you'd like to try to make some. Remember, if you do make some, make sure that you post them on my VIP page. I'd love to see what you guys make. All right, have a wonderful week, but don't forget to come back tomorrow night. I have another great Halloween project at 7 o'clock. So take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye now.